I've learnt that no matter how much is going on like around you in your world and stuff, there's always something else going on. There's always going to be something bigger, and sometimes it's just pointless getting caught up in that stuff, and that it's important to find happiness in the little things, which I try and do a lot. My name's Sophie. I'm 19 years old. I'm from regional New South Wales and I live in Melbourne, Victoria. I have applied for a double degree, a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science. I learnt classical and blues guitar for about 4 years. I love listening to music too. I've been to like a few really amazing concerts. My first concert was Bob Dylan with my whole family. The next one was Neil Young, which was probably even better. And then been to a few festivals like the Blues Fest in Byron Bay. I feel most free when I go running or on bike rides. I write every day. I can write for hours without even stopping to think what I'm writing about. I write in a book, I write in my typewriter, I write in little scraps of paper or napkins whenever I feel like putting words down. I love just setting up my typewriter and sitting there and writing on it. The first one that I got at, my mum was a midwife for like 30 years, so we always went to the hospital fetes together, and at the end of the day, like, the White Elephant shop would be closing down. She's like, hey, have like $5 and go and spend whatever you want, and I got a typewriter for 20 cents, and that was my first typewriter when I was about 6 years old, I think. I got that and it was my favourite thing in the world, and yeah, since then I've accumulated a few more. I love the sound of it, like when the buttons clink and when you get to the end and it dings and you have to push it across. I don't really necessarily feel in that moment, I don't think. I just exist, and I like that. Writing is definitely an escape, a coping mechanism also. Same with reading and just being able to escape into a different world for a brief moment. I really like that. Back home, I think there's definitely like a strong community. In school especially, I always felt like supported there because everyone was always looking out for you because there wasn't so many people. I'm very thankful for where I grew up. I met a lot of really, really amazing people. I've been aware that I'm sort of different for a long time, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Like, I remember when I was in year one, my year one teacher telling me, she told me, Sophie, you're different to other people. She said, but that's a good thing. She said, don't change. And I liked being different, but even though I fit into a lot of like different places, I've never really felt like I fit in properly. It's been challenging, but I like the challenges that life brings. It's just sometimes it's hard to know or have the strength to reach out and find someone to help you. It's hard because a lot of my friends have depression. Yeah, that's been really hard seeing a lot of them go through that and wanting so badly to be there for them and help them through it, but ultimately having no power in the situation. It's hard feeling helpless, I guess. I mean, I think that, well, just a lot of young people really, rather like when things start going sour, rather than actually reaching out and getting help, they sort of turn inwards or turn, like a lot of people I know turn to technology and like social networking and stuff like that, and I don't really understand that because it always baffles me, and I feel like such a country kid when I go into the city and I'm like riding a tram and there's someone sitting there and you just want to talk to them. I just want to like ask them how their day's going and stuff, but they're sitting there like on their little iPhone or their iPad or whatever, probably on Tumblr, telling the world how lonely they are when there's someone like right next to them. I have 2 brothers, a sister, and my parents, and we've always been pretty tight, like a very tight network. Definitely always supported me and helped me through everything, and even when I'm at my lowest, they're the people that will always be there to help me through it, so I really appreciate that. Coming out was a very hard time for me, particularly because I have such a wonderful relationship with all of my family. I think deep down I knew that they would all be supportive of me and always there for me, but I felt like a disappointment nonetheless because of all the just negative views in society in general. I was scared that I would be disappointing the people that were the most important thing to me in my life, so that was definitely a challenge. I only came out to myself last year, and then I came out to my sister on Christmas night last year, because we have a tradition where I've always gone into her room at night time and I go and lie in her bed and we have little chats. So we're having one of those chats, and I told her, and she was surprised, but she was like, oh, okay, cool. And then my parents I told earlier this year. That was challenging, definitely. My dad came and gave me the biggest cuddle. I was in tears and told me that he loved me no matter what, and in the next few days he kind of just asked a few questions because he was curious, but he's a very supportive person and stuff. And Mum reacted a bit differently, and I always knew that there was love and that we loved each other a lot. I understand why Mum didn't talk to me for a while. It had very little to do with the coming out. Worried about me for other reasons at the time, and she knew that I cared too much about people, and she could see that was going to affect me, so I actually appreciate that she didn't now, because it was Mum's funny way of saying that she cared. Honesty is very important to me. I was in a lot of pain, I think, before I told them, because I felt like I was being dishonest to them, but I was also having a bit of a personal struggle because I didn't feel like I had to tell them. It made me sad about the world, really, that it was a thing that I had to come out and say, because I didn't feel like it was a defining part of me at all. It's good that I did, and I'm glad that I did, because it's definitely brought my confidence out, and I feel like I'm being honest again, and it's all good now. It's better to be honest with yourself than to keep everything inside, because ultimately you're going to hurt yourself, and that's going to hurt the people around you, and there's no point sticking around just trying to fit into everyone else's expectations. You just have to be yourself, and you should be okay with that, and you should be happy to be that person. I know that I thought that all my friends would think of me differently and stuff, but they were very supportive, and they knew before me, so it wasn't really a bit much of a shock for them. But I think it's ridiculously important to actually be aware of the impact that you are making on the people around you, whether it's positive or negative. Like, I know that if I'm walking down the street and someone randomly smiles at me, that will make my day, and I'll go and smile at someone else, and maybe that'll make their day. And so whether it's a positive thing like that, or if you're negative to people, I think it just keeps going. My year 4 teacher, she was very keen to make us all do speeches, so we did speeches a lot, and I wasn't a very confident person at that point. And then I did this speech, and she really loved it, and she made me perform it in front of the whole school. And she got me enrolled in a drama course when I was young and stuff, and she told me that you need to be a confident person because you're someone who's capable of making change, and so you need to be confident in yourself so that you can do that. Something that I wrote probably like a year ago. So the quote is, and I thought to myself, if trees can be elephants, I can be anything. and that was because I was trying to explain to someone these trees on the top of a hill that we drive past every time we go to town from my house. When we were little, they looked like, together the trees looked like an elephant. I would like to see more people happy and excited about how exciting life is. I think life's an adventure, and I think more people should see that and stop getting so caught up in insignificant things. Think about it.